Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another Faithful Friday. What a time to be alive and well and here to join you on this Faithful Friday. I took a break last week and in due time, it will all make sense as to why I needed to take that break. But again, I'm happy to be back on this week to join you guys for another Faithful Friday and just talk about those things that we have to go through during our week to get here. I was truly glad on last week to be able to practice what I preach, and that's taking a disconnect and doing nothing but resting. It was a good weekend for sure. Like, I won't complain. And I plan to do the same thing again this weekend. Just take a break. We've talked about fall representing, allowing our minds to rest, making room for projects to grow, and a time to be silent. It's okay to be silent. Fall represents change, and guess what? Change is good. It is normal in life to it's normal in the fall to sometimes just feel loneliness and feelings of isolation and sadness and emptiness and even grief. However, it's okay because silence is good for us. It is good. And because why? We're often surrounded by so much noise. So take the time and digress and just really enjoy this season. I started this week off just giving God thanks for being able to escape unscathed. I have to give God praise all the time. He has brought me out of so many situations in which I felt hopeless and discouraged and even ready to give up, just ready to give up, throw my hands up, throw in the towel. This is the reason why I decided to write a book and tell my story. So stay tuned because that book is coming really, really soon. I have talked about it for a while, but we are at the final stages and I'm excited about it. So be on the lookout. The book is entitled Seasons, 44 Lessons That I Had to Learn. He encourages me, God. He encourages me weekly to just continue on the quest of Faithful Friday. And although there are times I don't want to do it, he reminds me that my transparency is leading to others being transformed. When I get that text or that inbox that says, keep doing these because what you spoke hit home for me, I know that God has me right where I'm supposed to be, which is shining my light, often at the sake of just keeping it raw and keeping it real. I know this week I put on my motivational tee. It says, God is still writing your story. Stop trying to steal the pen. And I will post a picture of this, but I just love this shirt. God is still writing your story. Stop trying to steal the pen. Stop speaking those things that some things may never work. This may never happen to me. You don't know what God is doing behind the scenes. For me, being a creative requires me to prioritize. And although I love to encourage others, I have to make sure that I'm filling my tank as well. As a creative, you're always generating or producing something. Creatives are always exploring. I like to call it additional things to get our hands involved in. We're always on a research run, seeking out and identifying those things that have worked, those things that have not worked, and figuring out how to take the pieces of both to create our own story. I was also reminded this week to not despise small beginnings. And because God is even at work in the small things. He really is. And whether it be paying a bill or providing a meal, God has us, and we just have to keep the faith. When we grow weary at the apparent smallness of God's work in and around us, we have to remember that God takes small things and he builds those small things towards our greater purpose. At the top of the week, God also checked me about worrying and how much time it takes of our rest and the time that it wastes. Worries that lurk during the day, they like to come up at night in our sleepy state and magnify themselves beyond reality and keep us up just worrying. We have to give our worries to God and go get some rest. Go to bed. Tell yourself, it's okay. I'm feeling this now, but let me see how I feel in the morning. Also, as the week progressed, it was all about staying relentless, because I had a lot of major projects that were in my lap, and I wanted to put my best foot forward in those projects that I was responsible for. Monday, I couldn't see how Friday was going to end, but when I'm telling you guys, I'm here today to tell you God got me through it. He kept me calm. He kept me patient, and it all turned out just fine. I'm in a season where shrinking back is not an option. I have to give it all that I've got or either put it in park. Time and faith is always of the essence, neither of which we can take for granted. We can't take time for granted because time is not forever. This week I concluded my daily studies just focusing on control, figuring out if I myself was stuck in a control trap. There are so many things in our life that can control us and that we as well can try to control. When we find ourselves being controlled, we have a responsibility to stop it because as long as you allow it to go on, you are enabling the abusiveness of it. Breaking free from control requires confronting it, confronting that there is a concern, confronting that you have an issue with being controlling, which is, so hard for many to do. Why? Because, many hate confrontation. It usually brings anger and blame. And so we just keep doing the same thing over and over and hating it. People control us and we allow them, and, it allows them to mainly, I would say, let me back up. People control us and mainly we deal with it out of fear. But someone who controls us is also often selfish. They're selfish and usually they have an exaggerated opinion of themselves. In their pride, they are convinced that their way is the only way, it's the right way or the highway, and they insist that things be done their way. They're rarely open to listen to the opinions of others, and let alone considering those opinions valuable. Listen, y'all, we have to really get into the factor. Are we being controlled? Are we being controlling? I know it is something that I've struggled with, honestly, just being honest, and it's something I don't want to continue to struggle with. It was a good week, y'all. For me, it was a fulfilled week. I'm looking forward to the disconnect. I hope that you're looking forward to the disconnect too. As we head into the disconnect, I highly encourage you to see this season for what it is. It's a season to be still. Evaluate the good and the bad and act. Stop allowing your life to pass you by and act. Get the rest that you need and get busy heading to where it is that you need to be. It's the fourth quarter. It's game time. And I will repeat, God is still writing your story. Stop trying to steal the pen. If you're looking for the guys, you can catch us this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Garfield Park Farmers Market. There's a few more weeks left for that. We will have sauces that help to spice up any occasion. As always, if you're out and about, let your light shine. Why? Because your transparency is leading to so many others being transformed. This has been your girl 7, and you know the drill. I will see you soon.